Hi Havasu Insurance fans, I'm Harold Sharp, I'm with Havasu Insurance. We're going to talk about some policy coverages for vehicles, and it could be, and these tie into other vehicles as well. Right now we're going to talk about motor vehicles. Currently who I have up here, myself and my wife, and our two vehicles. And this is just to give you an idea, this is a 6-month policy, and that's what these rates are for these coverages. And you can see a line-by-line item. And if you come into our office, by the way, every one of our computers is hooked up to a television, and we do this for you so you can see what the rates are in case you want to move them around. And we do that so that you don't think we're doing anything sneaky behind your back or anything like that. We like to have a full disclosure and let you see exactly what goes on behind the scenes or what's going on our computer so we can better help you. And because we take the time to explain it in these videos, you're able to have an understanding of what this stuff is. All you have to do is take a good look at our videos. We try and make most of them as short and sweet as possible. With that, we're going to move forward on policy coverages, or policy amounts, I should say. So the policy amounts, this is the minimums we write. 100, 300, 100. I'm going to show you right now that it goes from all the way down to the state minimum, 15, 30, 10. We don't write these policies. It's just not becoming for us, and the reason we don't write these policies is some of the companies we're with don't want us to. They want us to write from here, this direction. And because of that, they give us some better rates for better clients. So if you're a good person with no claims, no tickets, no accidents, we get better rates for you as best we can to get you set up. So as you can see right here from these rates, or these limits, and I already explained what these limits are on our video, you can understand that you would pay $282, $196. Now for those of you who are not as adept at math, it turns out to be $479. I don't know where they get the extra dollar from, but they do. 478 turns into 479 real fast. And so, and that's with a one payment. So if you end up making payments, now keep in mind, everybody's different, and a lot of things go into a rate of how much it costs for insurance. There's 57 things in I call it 57 things, there's not exactly 57 things, but there's a bunch of different things that goes in the background. Your insurance score, where you garage the car, the different cars, whether or not you went to school and college and all that other stuff, and where you live, where you don't live, you know, how long you've had insurance, how far you drive to work, the type of work that you've done or do, whether you're retired, a homemaker, or whatever it is. All these things go into an algorithm for the rate. So this just happens to be the rate for my wife and I for 6 months on a Kia Cadenza, which is an overpriced Kia in my opinion, and a Mercury Mountaineer. Now then, knowing that this is $478, this is what most people would call a middle of the road policy. I'm going to take it up to the top of the road policy, top of the line. Because a lot of people think if I double the coverage, what's going to happen? They're going to think double the rates, right? Well, that only makes sense. But guess what? It's not. And that's the reason why I'm showing you this video. The whole intent of this video is what does it cost to have very good insurance? Very good insurance. 500 combined single limit. Okay? And we're going to do that for all of these. And we did it on both cars. And we went from 479, in case you're wondering, to a whopping 560. So for $80 more, we went from $100,000, if I hit one person, to a $500,000. That's like 5 times the coverage. But is it really? Well, it said 100,000 / 300,000, which meant I kind of had 300,000 plus 100,000 of property. So that might mean a maximum of 400,000 if all the conditions were right. Well, this one, what's nice about it is it's 500,000 flat out, whether it's one person, property damage, one or the other, both, but combined single limit, 500,000. This is one of the best policies you can get. Insurance agents that know what they're doing, this is the policy they're going to sell. Some like the split limits of 250, 500. It costs you a little more. Doesn't really give you much more in the way of insurance though. $80 more for about 5 times the coverage if you hit one person or injure one person. And I want you to think about that. And one of the other reasons you want to do the $500,000 is this is the main underlying insurance coverage you need for many of the items if you happen to get what's called an umbrella policy. I'm going to get into that further on another video, and you just look up umbrella policy. What is it? What's it do? And a brief explanation is it goes from the $500,000 and above, and you can pick your limits above. That's the brief explanation. So going back to this, a whopping $80 more to get a lot of coverage. Remember, this is on 2 vehicles for the $500,000, and remember that uninsured motorists or underinsured motorists. Let's say somebody that doesn't have insurance runs into you, and you end up going to the hospital. Well, heck, a life flight to Vegas or Phoenix is going to cost you anywhere between 50 and 80 grand. That's just the flight. And then your medical bills up there, probably in a day in intensive care or something, probably going to be $250,000 at least. And that's just a guess, in a day or two. And that's no joke. And so if you have medical coverage, you're lucky. A lot of people don't. And so this is why you want to have some additional coverage. And remember, this is for medical bills. This isn't for lawsuits and that sort of thing. The medical payments is still here at the same at $25,000. Your comprehensive or collision is still $1,000. None of that's changed from the last video we were discussing. So I want you to think about it when you go get insurance. This is the limit you want if you were suggested. When people ask me flat out, how much should I have? Because they don't understand it. Or how much the money costs. This top line is if you hit someone else. And remember, if you don't have good coverage up here, you can't get it here and here, because you can only go up to what you got here on these two. In other words, if I change this line here and went down to 100,000, 3,000, it's not allowing me to do the 500,000 here. It'll only let me go up to, the same type of a coverage. And I'm showing you that for a reason, so you don't think, well, I can raise those two higher than the other. So keep in mind what you want to do is get the most insurance for your buck. And because you never know if you're going to get hurt, you never know when it's going to happen, but everyone knows everybody gets in accidents. And the last thing you want to do is have an accident and not be covered. And let's see if we can, here again, $560 for 6 months for 2 cars. Not a bad deal. We happen to have no claims, no tickets, no accidents, and that's why we have some pretty decent rates. And we have the decent rates for a lot of people that have no tickets, no accidents, good credit, no DUIs, no SR22s, things of that nature. If you've never heard of an SR22, there's a reason for it. You've never needed it, don't worry about it. Again, I'm Harold Sharp with Havasu Insurance. Thank you for chiming in, and keep looking at our videos for other good tips on insurance. Our phone number is 928-846-8003. We sell insurance in Arizona, California, Nevada, Utah, and coming soon to Colorado. Thank you.